Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Shaheem Reed. Wednesday, man, we about to get more lit than ever before. We got the King of Crunk on the way, Lil Jon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. But before we do anything, I gotta give a rest in peace and send my prayers and condolences to the family of Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace. Chadwick Boseman, personally, and I know I speak for so many people, you are a tremendous inspiration for myself and for many others, not just through parts such as the Black Panther, of course, but just your many charitable contributions and being present with your time, man, helping the kids out and just doing so many different things. You'll be sorely missed, and we're just sad to see Chadwick Boseman go, but we're going to continue. He was working through everything. He didn't let anything stop him, so we're going to keep working. We're going to keep going, and tonight I got a guy, man. I go back about 20 years with this guy, and I've been wanting to get him on the show from the very start. I'm happy he could make it tonight. None other than the King of Crunk, Lil Jon.
Hey, what up? What up?
Man.
Hey, man. Yeah, to continue on with Chadwick, man.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that all of the roles he's done have been positive male Black figures. Listening to stories of people talking about him and reading stuff, they were saying that he was very critical on how he was to be portrayed, the role that he took on. So I thought that was really great because we have so many positive role models, but we don't have enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that was awesome of him to be very conscious of the roles that he chose to take on. So rest in peace to Chadwick, definitely.
Yeah, man. He gave us just the biggest, I would say, cultural. I don't even want to say it was a moment, but it was just the biggest thing I know for Black people since I was alive, going to see Black Panther.
The positivity that generated amongst our people, and for it to become the highest grossing Marvel film, you know what I mean, was amazing to see Black people going together, the entire family, girlfriends, fellas, in dressing up, you know what I mean? We've never had nothing like that for Black people. Never.
With the kente cloth going to the movies.
Like people put on their best, you know what I mean? So it was awesome what they created. And I saw the director said that Chadwick knew what the movie was going to be. He said what's the director's name?
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, Ryan was like, I didn't know what it was going to do. He said Chadwick knew. He said he knew when they were filming what the movie was going to be. So it's what a loss, you know what I mean? But what a great guy. And
he did so much in a little bit of time, man. And it's amazing, man. And this show, to walk through, we celebrate that. We celebrate the incredible achievements that people have throughout their career. We love the catalog. John, I'm a music head. I love getting into the catalogs, man. And I'm going to tell the world, everybody watching it on Twitch, I know we got some viewers that's young and they were not able to experience firsthand when crunk music took over the world. But I can tell you, there is no other feeling to be in Atlanta when a Lil Jon music record hit, smash, came on. Man.
Yeah, it was a time, man. We gave people music that was a release, you know what I mean? And I think that's why it became so big, because everybody has certain things going in their life that they're dealing with. And when those songs came on, it was a way to just let all of that energy out and have a good time, you know what I mean? So, and it was all real energy, you know what I mean? Like what we put into the records, the way we did the records, when me and the East Side Boys did our early records, it'd be 3 of us on the mic at one time laying the chants. You know what I mean? So all of that energy was captured in the records, and I don't know. I mean, I'm just thankful I had that moment. You know what I mean? Like, it was great to make all of those records.
That was an era. That was definitely not a moment. That was an era. And when I go back and I just look at some of the elements of crunk, man, obviously you got some punk rock, you got some rock and roll, but it's like traditional hip hop when you think about it, man. Like, y'all pulled in elements of, you talking about everybody on the microphone chanting together.
Right.
That's what like Cold Crush Brothers was doing, way back in the 70s.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That's some elements of what you was doing, and some elements of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Like, you was bringing the elements from all over, just cooking it up.
I never looked at it that way, but yeah, I actually saw a video of Grandmaster Caz and one of the other guys in Cold Crush rapping. Like, it was like maybe 5-10 years ago. It was at somebody's birthday party, and they were doing the old rhymes, and yeah, they was rapping certain parts of the song together, and yeah, it's like a chant. So that's crazy that you bring that up, and I just saw some of that. So
yeah, man, I want to take it back to like your origins, man. John is a super hip hop head, but you've been into rock and roll, and obviously we know that MTV era. When like 84, I won my MTV. You was one of the kids watching TV in them days, and one of your big early influences was skateboarding.
Yeah, in the 80s, I was skating, and skating helped me to become a diverse person. Like, without skating, I wouldn't have been. Atlanta's a really segregated city, so you have black people who stay with the black people, white people over here, Latino over here, so nobody kind of mixed up. So skateboarding, I was skating with white kids, Asian kids, Latino kids, all kind of kids. We just love to skate, so we're all skating. Different parts of cultures rub off. So skateboarding, I learned to be able to be around any type of people, any type of sin. I was able to. It taught me how to be able to have a conversation with anybody. Because certain people you take out of certain neighborhoods, and they don't even know how to talk to this person over here, because they never conversated with them before. So it made me be able to talk to anyone, be around any kind of person, and also different music, spawned off of that too, because when we're skating, we might be listening to reggae, we might be listening to punk music, and I really got into punk music through the skateboarding. So a lot of my influences come from punk, and I've said it in a million interviews. One of my favorite bands of all time are Bad Brains. If y'all don't know who Bad Brains are, you need to look up Bad Brains. It's an all-black punk band from DC that just came in and just tore the fucking shit and just flipped it on the head, and they were like influenced everybody. So that's how I got turned on to Bad Brains, by skating, and then all of the other skate groups. But yeah, a lot of punk influences are in what I do, or what I did with the crunk music.
I want to just backtrack a little bit, talk about Bad Brains. You got a chance to work with those dudes when you blew up into this super icon. You got a chance to kind of bring them back, help them do sort of a comeback. Although, they always have done tours and shows and stuff like that, but you was kind of helping them get back on the charts.
Yeah. So what's crazy is I had this crazy idea to use Bad Brains on a remix for my song Roll Call with Ice Cube. And I wanted to take one of their old records, Reignition, which is one of my favorite Bad songs. And I think I tried to initially sample it, and I was like, it ain't gonna work. I was like, let me just see if I can just, I think I hit up Daryl Jennifer on MySpace. Maybe it was MySpace, I don't remember, Twitter or something, but somehow I got connected with Daryl Jennifer, and me and him started talking, and I literally got the band back together to come in the studio and play that song over for my tracks, which is crazy. And that was like the first time that they had been back together in I don't know, 5, 10, maybe even longer years. And after that, and all of the press they got from doing that record with me, they ended up going back on tour and stuff. And I went and hung out with them on tour. I had never met HR, so I got to meet HR on the tour. But yeah, that was pretty monumental for me. One, to work with Ice Cube to do the original version, and then two, my favorite band of all time, to get them in the studio and to just rock out with. There's actually footage on the internet from that session too.
Yeah, and come on, man. You know, Q was just everything, man. Like, when he came out with America's Most Wanted,
Yeah,
and just for him to mix the Bomb Squad from the East Coast, Long Island, New York, Chuck
right,
D, and all of those guys, the Shockley brothers, and bring what he was doing from the West, and then Death Certificate.
right,
To me, like when you look at an artist coming out with a 1-2 combination, like the first two albums,
right,
I
right,
don't
right,
I
right,
don't know if there's any more important albums than
right.
those first two that Cube dropped.
Yeah, I mean, and to leave NWA in his prime, like to just
Whew.
walk away. Like a lot of artists walk away and don't have that success because people don't want to see them without the other guys.
Right.
But he was able to, stand out on his own and create classic material, which is awesome. And it was, for me, working with Ice Cube was one of a dream. The people I listened to the most when I was growing up in high school, rap wise, was Too Short and
Man.
NWA. And to end up working with both of those guys, and to do amazing records is like, I can't even believe. Thinking back, I can't even believe it. And with Cube, he hadn't really done anything in a while. I called him as well, and I brought him out and he did Summer Jam with me in New York City. We toured motherfucking New York City down.
Crazy.
He did Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself, and the people went fucking crazy. And he told me after that, he was like, this kind of inspired me to do more shit. And I think after that, he went in the studio and he did an album. And I actually, we did the song Go to Church Snoop Dogg on that album. So,
a little something, a little something, a little something, something.
yeah.
So this is we in 2020 right now, obviously, and in 2010 I think we on the 10-year anniversary of Out of Your Mind.
Wow.
And when you started going into that direction, it opened up not just a whole new chamber for you musically, but a whole different bag for Lil Jon.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Shots.
Shots. Okay.
It was Shots. All of the Pitbull records. The Pitbull records started to open the doors where it was like a whole nother audience of people I was getting turned on to. I mean, I had already that crossover audience from and Get Low's appeal. But when we started to do which Pitbull record was it? I can't remember. It's so many records. But anyway, Pitbull records, and then me and Ella Mayfield did Shots. Yeah, that started to just really push me through that door and open up some other opportunities. And I started to notice so after I dropped the Crunk Rock album, I was like fried. I burnt out. I was like, I can't produce no more. I need a break. So I kind of started I was hanging out a lot and just checking out DJs. And then I just kind of got inspired and I started DJing again. I dived back into DJing with my homeboy DJ Spider. He's the one that kind of inspired me to get back into the DJing. And me and him started doing a lot of stuff together. And I started going to Vegas a lot. And I was checking out like my man DJ AM and all these guys. Started to kind of learn that world a little bit. Also, shout out to DJ Chucky. Like I started to hang out with some of the EDM DJs, Chucky and Aoki, and all of that opened up a whole nother world for me that no other hip hop person was even thinking about going into. And it was easy for me because my voice, I can hype up any fucking thing in the world. I can hype up any goddamn thing. So it was perfect for me to be able to do those type of records and to like go in it. And I mean, it's crazy. This year marks 10 years of me being in Las Vegas. So it's crazy. I had a residency for 10 years at different properties, and it's crazy that coronavirus hit, and it's like one thing I miss is no Vegas right now. I'm not doing no sets in Vegas because it's awesome to be able to do these virtual sets, but it's nothing like live and being in front of the people and seeing their reactions and wilding out, spraying champagne on people and giving them shots, and we're all getting fucked up and it's raging and it's like but so that's one thing I do miss. But hey, yeah,
we're gonna be back. Everybody on Twitch, send us your questions. We got Lil Jon right here, the icon, legend. I want to know what your favorite Lil Jon record is. I want to know if you got a favorite moment going to a club or going to a concert and partying with John. I'm gonna tell you my favorite Lil Jon moment. This is not the one in MTV. This is me in Puerto Rico.
Oh, Mix Show Power Summit.
Mix Show Power Summit. This is when TVT. Y'all had the death row over there. Yeah, it was Lil Jon and the East Side Boys headlining, Pitbull, Yin Yang Twins, of course. Right. And I want to say Jackie O was over there.
Jackie O was on TVT.
Yeah, it was Jackie O. We in a club. We in Puerto Rico. Now, mind you, when I caught an early morning flight to Puerto Rico, and it's all these big brolic guys on the plane with me, look like a football team, making all this noise and wilding out in the back of the plane. I couldn't sleep. I'm upset. So they was acting the fool all the way till we get to Puerto Rico. So they go their way, I go my way. So later on that day, we meeting for a concert. Now, mind you, this is not a nighttime concert. This is a daytime concert. We in this club in Puerto Rico. I don't know where it is. John is on performing. All of a sudden, the biggest brawl breaks out in the club. The biggest brawl.
I remember that.
I see all of these guys that I was on the plane with, the football team, turn out they're security guys. Yeah. Now, they was acting like they was the toughest guys.
New York security. They were New York security guys.
New York security, because we came on the plane. Acting like they were the toughest guys in the world. When the Puerto Rican brothers started putting the beats on that security team, they all ran.
I remember
on the stage. You remember this?
I remember all of this. What happened was a fight. We were performing, and then a fight broke out. I was like, hold on, turn the lights on. And then they turned the lights on, and the Puerto Rican niggas looked at each other like, oh, we on TV. And then that's when they went crazy and just whooped the security guard's ass so badly. Yeah, they ran past me. I'm like, they ran out of there. Yeah, they didn't want no parts of them Puerto Rican brothers, bro. They whooped their ass. And they were smaller. The Puerto Rican guys were smaller than their security. Like, I remember these motherfuckers head butt open and shit. They whooped their ass. That was crazy. That
was a crazy night in Puerto Rico. I definitely do miss those power summits where we used to hear all the new music first with all of the DJs and whatnot. It's a different time, man. And
and everybody could rub elbows with the artists. The artists weren't untouchable and bougie and think they did. It was like we all just hanging out. You'll see, because it was pool party during the day. There was this little mixer. Then somebody had a sweet party with the strippers. So you rub elbows with everybody. Like, it was fucking awesome. But now artists are so untouchable and too cool. Like, it's crazy, man. Crazy how times have changed.
It's different. One of the biggest changes right now is that Atlanta is undisputed on top. Like, you know, the era of crunk, Atlanta was definitely representing. I can't take nothing away, but now it's like the undisputed champion, knockout champion. How does it feel just to see your city, you know, come from where, you know, it was at one point, I remember Play No Games, it was such a big thing. Fat Joe, a New York artist, is
Right.
on the record with Lil Jon.
Right.
Now it's like so different.
I mean, it's well, and to me, the reason Atlanta wins is because Atlanta don't give a fuck about nobody else. We just give a fuck about Atlanta. We make
Right.
records for Atlanta, and they just happen to. We change the culture. We always have changed of hip hop, and it's because, like I said, we just do records for Atlanta niggas, and they just everybody else like love the or love whatever we're doing. So salute to Lil Baby, Gunna, you know, everybody from this on top right now. I salute all of these fellas because you know what I mean, like it's just good to see people from your city win. You know what I mean? I remember meeting Gunna. I was at a show in Vegas. Who was I went to see? I went to go see somebody. He was opening up, and we had a cool little conversation backstage. And that was before he took off. And I was like, okay, he's cool. Like, you know what I mean? They showed me a lot of respect. And then a year or two later, boom, he's huge. So respect to all the Atlanta artists. Keep doing y'all thing. And don't change up your shit for nobody. If your style is what this is what you feel you want to do in a certain kind of way, don't let no manager, nobody tell you, because the artist knows what the artist is. If you're a real artist, be you. Don't let nobody else change you to adapt to be something else. Just be you, and eventually you stay in it long enough, you'll break through.
Yeah, Atlanta I got the ill community, man. Like I be watching these verses and Atlanta, it don't matter who it is, the whole Atlanta community is in there repping for the city. Like, you know how they was repping Monica the other night?
Yeah, I was in there too. I was in there representing Atlanta, yeah. And Monica is so Atlanta.
Yeah.
If any of you have ever met a female from Atlanta, a real Atlanta female, they're just like Monica. You know what I mean? She is real, 100% real, not with the bullshit, not on no fake shit at all.
She's incredible, man. What do you think about the verses? I know when you was on a while back, everything has changed a little bit, but you know, now they seem like they got a nice groove. Everybody's in the same location and they doing their thing.
I think it's great. I mean, everything's got to grow, but I missed the early on verses when it was intimate, when it was the actual artist pushing play and not a DJ. You know, I missed that aspect of it, but it's great what it's become. I love it the way it is now too. Having two people in the room like Alicia Keys and John Legend, when they had back-to-back pianos, like that's crazy. You know, of course, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, crazy. Ooh. You know what I mean? So it's awesome, but I do miss the intimacy of just the two artists going back and forth the way that was, and they're actually playing the song and picking the songs. Like, oh, damn, I need to switch it up. I'm gonna go here. You know what I mean? I miss all of that. So maybe they'll bring that back sometimes. But hey, man, it was like what 1.2 million, and it was like almost 2 million on Apple Music. So congrats to those guys. Congrats to Swiss and Timbaland for doing that thing with that, man. And thank you guys for letting me be a part of it. It was me and T-Pain had a ball doing it. You know what I mean? It was a ball.
I want to hear, like, you know, you and T-Pain did it, and it was fun, man. I want to hear a little bit more shit talking between the artists, man. Like, now we celebrating. You and T-Pain wasn't caring. You and Pain was just going.
Yeah, we would take jabs at each other because we're silly guys. We're both silly guys, and we know each other very, very well. And everything don't have to be so serious, you know. It's serious, but it's not serious, you know. So, yeah, that's how two friends would come at each other, you know what I mean? So it was fun, and so many people still hit me about that battle. After every verse, someone hits me is like, I still love Lil Jon and T-Pain. So thank you all y'all for all of the love on that. And yeah, it was great doing it, man. It was great.
Yeah. When you look back at just your palette of work, man, just all of these records that you accomplished, like really, like even just the crunk era in like a 10-year period, then to graduate and do like a whole nother 10 years in that EDM and Vegas residency realm, and you got 20 years plus of work, and we're not even counting like my boo and like all of the so deaf stuff, and
Right.
we're gonna get into that too. But you know, looking back at your palette of work, man, what's some of the things that you're most proud of?
Man, I guess I'm just proud of the fact that I can make music as a DJ. The thing that satisfies you most if you're a producer DJ is for other DJs to be like, I love your shit, or I love to play your shit, or your record saves me many nights. The crowd wasn't moving, I just threw on Get Low, or the crowd wasn't into nothing I played, so I played Turn Down for What. That is the stuff that really hits you as a, when your peers show you that kind of respect. And and the fact that the records just won't die. How many artists can say their records have not stopped playing since they put them out? So I'm very blessed to have numerous records in my catalog that are still going. So I mean, I don't know.
Amazing. We getting some questions from Twitch. Let me pull up these questions. It says, Lil Jon, when's the last time you talked to Dave Chappelle, and what's your memories of being on the Chappelle show when he put you on the Chappelle show?
Last time I saw Dave was maybe about a year ago. He was in LA doing something, and we were staying at the same hotel, and he had a party at the hotel, and I just came through the party after what I was after I got through doing what I was doing. So that was the last time I saw Dave, and I thank Dave all the time. Well, I thank Dave a million times for putting me on the Chappelle show. Just doing a sketch on me alone.
Yeah.
Doing a sketch on me was because he brought me into people's households that would never listen to my music or would never know who I am. So I thank Dave for that a million times, and I thank him again right now. Thank you, Dave. And the way that sketch came about when it was Lil Jon and Lil Jon was I just went to the show one day to be like, oh, thank you for doing the character on me, man. I appreciate it. And he was like, yo, hang out. We'll do a sketch or two. So I hung out and we did one little sketch. That one didn't make it into the show. And then he was like, I got this other idea. So he set up the little scene. He was off camera. And we were just improvising back and forth, which is another thing that is like, I improv with a comedy legend, and it actually turned into a real sketch. So he improv, I did my scenes on camera and just improv back to him, and he took it back later, did his parts and chopped it up, and that's how that Lil Jon talking to Lil Jon sketch came about, just because I went to say thank you, and I ended up on the show.
Iconic, man. That was iconic, and that led to you getting like so many different acting roles and so much stuff, man. You've been on some TV shows. One of the shows I want to talk to you about, because I'm a tremendous fan of Walking Dead, and I've seen you on Talking Dead a couple of times, man. What do you think about the direction of the show now? I hate that Michonne is gone now.
I haven't seen Carl. I didn't want to get it, man. I was, the show's been on like 8 years, 9 years. And the longer it goes, the more you kind of stretching it to fill up space. And I haven't watched, and the last season I watched was when they finally got fucked Negan up. You know what I mean? And they broke Negan down.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched since then. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch this last, maybe 2 seasons. Maybe I can't remember how. Yeah, since Negan, they finally overthrew Negan. You know what I mean? So, but the early, I don't know. I like all the old shit. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I seen the nigga with the face on his face and shit. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. I ain't even wanted to watch it yet.
The Whisperers. Yeah, I think like the height was the Governor,
Right.
That's when most of the people that we love was still alive.
That governor shit was crazy too.
Yeah. The nigga killed a couple of people that we love, and
yeah,
it was over, man.
And then when old girl was in the coffin, remember what's her name? She was in the coffin and she went. They opened the coffin up.
Yeah, and nigga was like, "Oh shit!" Oh.
Right. Yeah. Like when she died, that shit was fucked up. Yeah, but I mean, I love the show. I might just go back and start over from the first episode. I fell in love with it from the first episode. Yeah. I think I was at home I was off a weekend, and it was on like Netflix, and I was like, let me check this shit out. And I ended up watching like 2 seasons in one sitting. I was like, this show is amazing, and that's when I became a big fan of it.
Keep it going. Did they ever offer you a role? Like they didn't have you on Talking Dead? I would have loved to see you in part of Negan's army, or even like a grand general villain yourself, man.
No. I tried to go down to the set, but they had closed set. You know what I mean? But
because they did it right in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, right outside of Atlanta. I think like one of the little towns. But no, it's all good. They showed me a lot of love, though. They showed me a lot of love. Sent me a bunch of Walking Dead paraphernalia and toys and stuff I have in my studio. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Then we know you was on Celebrity Apprentice. Did you have any idea?
No, I did not. I did not know that the guy was this fucked up. You know what I mean? I didn't see any of those sides. He showed me a lot of respect. He even gave me, on the finale episode, he gave me more money for my charities. So I never had any issues with him. But yeah, what the person that's out here now, I never saw that guy. And I'm sure any other hip hop person that's dealt with him had never seen this type of shit either. But it's crazy to me what's going on with the country and where we are, how polarized everything is, and how everything keeps getting amplified because he's not letting people know this is not okay and it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like it's simple to denounce things that are not right. It's a certain thing when you talk to your children, you say, this is good, this is bad. Like, how hard is it to say that is not right? No one should do this. No one should go through that. So yeah, I had no idea, my guy. No idea.
Man. It's crazy. What do you think about Kamala? Kamala, I should say. Let me not mispronounce her name.
I think Barr called her Camilla today. Yeah, Kamala is awesome. A black woman, period. You don't want to cross a black woman. And the way she was, whenever they had hearings in Congress and she was questioning any of the witnesses or, the people that were testifying, they were afraid of her. So I think she's going to be an amazing vice president. And I can't wait to see them get into office and kind of reverse all of these fuck ups that 45 has done.
Man, where were you during like all of the protests and stuff like that? Because ATL, they was on the forefront, and like I've been saying a lot on the show, I was so encouraged to see like a lot of the younger hip hop artists, come to the forefront. Me personally, the first person I saw from the hip hop community at the marches was Lil Yachty, and I was like, okay, I love that, man. Like the young people definitely bringing like so much different energy,
right? It's the movement is a young people's movement. The energy, anytime anything like this happens in history, the younger people are the ones that bring and demand the change. I'm here for it. I'm supporting, but this is their movement. They're on the front lines. And I was here in Atlanta. I was home. I was quarantined. I'm not trying to, get out there because we don't really know what is going on with this virus. We don't really know how it's transmitted, so on and so forth. But I commend all of the young soldiers that are out there on the front line fighting and demanding change and justice.
Yeah, it's a serious time, man. The COVID how was it for you just being home? Like this is probably your first time in 20 years where you probably was home like that.
Yeah, it's been a major change, and it's been great in a lot of ways. You know, every day I wake up, I say, or anytime anything happens to me, good or bad, I always say it's always some positivity you can pull from a negative situation. And if we all think like that, we can always keep moving forward. So for me, I needed a detox from the road. I needed a mental detox. I needed a physical detox. I needed to charge my energy back up, because when you're out like that, people just suck all your energy out of you and drain you. So I needed this. And then I also, I wanted to get back into my production more. I've been producing a little bit here and there. So I wanted to get back into production. So it gave me time to do that. And I wanted to, I try to stay very healthy on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But since I've been home, I've been cooking for the family every day. I take sea moss. So on the road, I was taking capsules, and I started making my own sea moss gel since I've been home. So I've been more into my health. And right before COVID really, really hit and we got off the road, I had seen people talking about it. And I was like, while I was out on the road, and I had told my security and my man Emperor Cersei that was with us as the road manager, I was like, y'all need to boost y'all immune systems up, because I saw there was an immune disease. So I started, like, before it even got all over the place, we started boosting our immune systems up. So keeping my immune system boosted up. So yeah, it's been just like a new awakening for me, and of course, with no shows, there's also a lot of times to do other things, and wanted to DJ. So I sat back and watched everybody's live streams for the first month. And then I figured out exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm doing my live sets here on Twitch and on Facebook and YouTube and other platforms. Y'all can go to liljonlive.com every Saturday. And I DJ from the Southern DJ's perspective, from Atlanta motherfuckers perspective. So no EDM at all. This is a Southern rap set. So you hear the new shit, not old shit, but shit that's not, early 2000s, you know what I mean? And some 90s shit like Ball and G. But it's a DJ set from a Southern DJ's perspective. Because what I notice on all the platforms, I see everybody playing slow jams, oldies, and New York hip hop. Wasn't nobody DJing for no South niggas, and South niggas, like you said earlier, is running music. So where the fuck is all of that at? So I decided to pick that up and run with it, and that's what I do every Saturday.
Man, I'm happy you said that, because we're gonna definitely turn in. Everybody watching this, come on, let's keep the party going. We're gonna go to Jon's page this Saturday. That's the perfect time to do it.
Yes,
and
sir.
right after this interview, Jon, I kept it ATL for the show. We got DJ Prince's cut.
What up, Prince's cut? Yeah.
Right after this interview, she's gonna come on, and I said, I got. You do what you want. You just got to keep it all ATL.
Exactly. That's how the sets are.
I got to get a couple of my favorite. Jon joints in there. But other than that, Queen, you do what you want to do. Just keep it all ATL.
Salute.
We're gonna do it, man. I want to get back into this catalog of music, man. This rich catalog of music, and get into some of these records. I want to talk about some of the people you had a chance to work with. Janet Jackson.
I did Janet Jackson. Well, we did a record that didn't come out.
Remixes. You did some remixes for her.
Which remix? I don't remember.
You didn't did so much. You forget Janet. What about Britney? I know you remember Britney.
We did. Yeah, I think I did one on Britney. Her people actually called this week asking, did I still have the files? I guess they want to do a remix or something. So I wasn't in the studio. I did the beat, and the writers went in with her and recorded. So I can't say I was in with her. But I did meet Janet and hung out with Janet plenty of times with JD. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, was this something that I heard, and you could clarify this? Was this something that you were supposed to work with Justin Timberlake at a certain point?
I don't remember. Maybe I was just putting it out there that I wanted to work with Justin, or me and Justin was cool. I went to his shows a couple times and talked to him. But speaking of remixes, I did do remixes for Mariah. I did Sweetheart. I know I did Sweetheart because Jermaine, when I was at So Def, Jermaine was also like knew that I was producing, so he would shoot me remixes. He shot me You Make Me Wanna. I did a Total remix and Mariah Carey. And then me and Mariah actually been in the studio a couple times working on shit that we never really got nothing, but that was just cool to be able to just shoot the shit and work with someone that's one of the all-time best vocalists ever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. What was it like coming back with Usher and Chris for this?
I mean, that was pretty amazing because so we did that record initially 3 years ago, and that was the first time me and Jermaine worked in the studio together like that. So Jermaine, I was producing and Jermaine was just writing the record. And of course, Usher there too. So we never, all three of us, been in the same room in that capacity and did anything like that. So it was just awesome to just initially to just do the record, get it done. We like, oh, this is fire. You know what I mean? And then sat on it for a while. And then maybe a year ago, they Usher sent it to Chris and Chris killed it. And then, yeah, so the versus battle was coming up. And a couple of days before the versus battle, I was on my Instagram and I saw T-Pain. He posted a snippet of a Chris Brown song. So I hit Usher like, yo, bruh, T-Pain gonna play a Chris Brown. You can't have me looking crazy. I need to play this sex beat shit. And so it took me a whole lot of convincing to convince him to let me play the record. And so I played the record and the internet went fucking crazy. The chat went crazy. And I've never gotten a deal done that fast in my entire career with 3 major artists. The deal was done by Wednesday. The record was out by Friday. So that's the power of the internet, man, and the people out there.
Why didn't back in the days, I know there was heavy talk about y'all, especially after Lovers and Friends, about the 3 of y'all just doing a full album together. You had you had Lovers and Friends, and you know one of my favorite joints that you did for us is the Red Light joint.
Oh, thank you.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
That was the last minute record.
That was stupid. I'm gonna talk to you about that, but how come that triple threat album never came together?
It was just, I think it was just all the labels and management, just everybody just couldn't. Everybody, we just couldn't get it to. I don't think we just couldn't negotiate. I think everybody was even scared to try to negotiate that to get done, and we didn't just take it upon ourselves. Like now, we would just go in the studio and record it, and then take it to the label. Like, yo, what we doing? Who want it? Which one? You know, have a bidding war for it. And then, you know, it was like, okay, if it's here, is Def Jam going to get the clearance? If it's here, is TVT going to get the clearance and Def Jam? You know what I mean? Like, so it was just too much political shit, and we never even dived into it.
TVT and Def Jam was going at it back then too.
Yeah. I think that's part of the reason we didn't do a video and all of that. It's because of they had a lawsuit about Ja Rule. It was a Ja Rule project.
Yeah.
And that's why Def Jam. Yeah, and I think TBT won the lawsuit.
I think they won about $8-9 million.
Yeah, they won some money. So that fucked it up. Def Jam was like, fuck off.
Man, you were the catalyst for people that don't know. You were the catalyst for There was, I remember getting the mixtape. Me and my brother Ari, I'm at his house right now. We driving in New York, whatever year that it came out, but it was the December before it actually hit. It was that December. We driving around listening to mixtapes. You know what New Yorkers do. That year came on. I said, "Oh my God!" Me and my brother Ari, we going crazy over the record. And the litmus test for what music was hot back in those days was you go to, we from Queens, so you go to Jamaica Avenue. That's one of the major hubs of the mixtapes.
Everybody's blasting this shit on the street, right?
Yeah, whatever's blasting out.
Yeah.
I tell you, they was playing, like it was 1998 DMX or 1997 Biggie. Like they was going crazy for that record.
Wow.
It was just a feel good, and so the legend has it that the record mysteriously leaked because they wasn't gonna put the muscle behind it like they were supposed to. Until it mysteriously leaked.
So what happened was, the album is done. The album is turned in. They initially say this is the single, and then they come back and they're like, "Nah, we want Burn to be the single."
Great record though. Great record.
Burn is a great record, but I don't think the album would have went to 10 million without that. You got to get into space first. We got that. Yeah, got them into outer space, and then all the rest of the records kept us in orbit. You know what I mean? So they want to release Burn. So I'm talking to JD, and he basically like, do what you do. Like, go ahead and leak that shit. So I start sending it out. And the first DJ I gave it to was K Slay. No, the first DJ I gave it to was DJ AM. I gave him a studio version. I didn't even remember this. I was with Felly Fell. He told me the story. I remember going to the club, but I don't remember who the DJ was. So we were in the studio and we went to the club and I gave the CD to AM. I was like, play this. Tell me, let's see how the crowd react. So he played it in the club and nobody got off the dance floor. So I was like, okay, we good. So that's the first DJ that played in the club. The first DJ I gave it to was K Slay, the mixed mastered version. I gave it to K Slay. K Slay is my man. Whenever I was in New York, I fuck with K Slay here and there. And I get records to Slay. Slay is my motherfucking dude. So I gave it to K Slay. K was like, I can't really rock, I can't play this on my show. My shit hardcore. So he gave it to Sonny. Sonny was on Hot 97 like 10 in the morning to 12 or 1. So Sonny was the first DJ on air to play Yeah. Crazy to go even deeper. So Yeah, I leak it. Station playing it. The label is like, we got to stop this. Burn is supposed to be the single. This is gonna fuck up the single. So they sent out back in the day. If y'all don't know, but back in the day, industry people sent out. The label would send out what they call a cease and desist letter, which means you have to stop playing this song. Fuck you. This record is hot. We're not going to stop playing it. Hot 97 along with other stations. And I heard from Sonny that Tracy, the PD at the time, took the letter and framed it and put it in her office as like a trophy to a testament to like what happened later, So that's the real story. What happened.
Wow. And it started, that record was so huge, man. One of the biggest records ever. But I remember when I was at MTV, we did an interview with Usher because we knew that the album was going to come in #1. And then we had to pre-tape the interview because we knew we wasn't going to see him. So we did a whole interview and it was like, well, Usher, how does it feel to come in at #1 and your album is going to do, I think it started projecting at like 650 or something like that. It was like, yeah, 650. And then we said, you know what, let's just have it for safety. Can we get you to say how do it feel to do 1 million first week? Because that was the type of energy that it was doing. So we had to, we pre-taped it. I think we did one like 650, we did one 900, and then we did 1 million because it was just the energy was just feeling stupid.
Right.
And damn sure enough, 1 million first week.
Wow. And that's the rocket ship. That's like my man Bobby Avila said, it's the rocket ship. When you got a rocket ship, and to me, like people's doing numbers now, but they're not doing numbers like back in the day numbers. Digital numbers to me, it's not the same. If a motherfucker they would reach in their pocket and pull that $20 out.
Yeah.
Now it's a difference. You just gotta go click on Spotify and download the album. It's like you're not spending the money. It's not the same to me. For me, it's not the same. I don't know how you feel, but if you doing $1 million now is not equivalent to you doing $1 million 10, 15 years ago. It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, people had to actually physically go out.
Exactly.
You know, even if they got a bootleg, you had to physically go out, leave your house,
right?
Rain, sleet, snow.
Wait in the line sometimes too.
Wait in the line, bro. Wait
you know
in the line.
Like people used to wait in the line to get the album, or wait in the line for the autograph signing to get the album. Like it's not the same. You know what I mean? Right now, if that record came out, it'll be at fucking 5 million the first week instead of 1 million.
Yeah, big time. So, you know, at a certain point, yeah, you know, that was just such a signature moment for you, the biggest record of your career. And then you get on a record called Turned Down for What?
10 years later.
10 years later.
10 years later.
Eclipses year and actually is close to 1 billion views on YouTube, the video. That's Brett Favre. Remember when Andre said, I'm out here Brett Favre?
Yeah, man. It's always crazy when I think about it that, you know, 2003, 2004, it was Get Low, and then 2004, and then 10 years later, Turn Down for What comes out and becomes a monster. And it was so unexpected because like that record started, you know, I leaked the record. I did the same shit. I sent it to DJs. All the DJs in the club were playing it before we even had a deal. The record was off on its own legs before we even had a deal. And then I took the record to Interscope, and I took the record to Columbia, and Columbia won, and Columbia picked it up and ran that motherfucker back, scored a touchdown, and got the 2 points. You know what I mean? Got 2-point conversion on that bitch because they took it to a whole nother plane. And to, like you said, to almost be at 1 billion views, to be in the 1 billion views club is, I'm speechless, you know what I mean? Because I just try to, whenever I go in the studio and do something, I try to always give it my all and do my best with every single record. And y'all don't see the process in making the record, but I'm very critical of myself and how everything is done. And for y'all to digest it and make that song to become so big is, I never expected that. But, you know, I just thank everybody for supporting it. And crazy, man. Yeah, like I said, we started it from the DJs. The DJs, me being a DJ is always the foundation with everything I do with music. Because without the DJs, you have nothing. The DJs got to play the record. The DJs got to break the record in the club. I've seen DJs break my records. Like we were just talking about the Verses. I broke that record, the Sex Beat record, in the battle. The way I played it, that's called breaking a record. You play a little bit, run it back. Play a little bit, run it back. You make people excited about it. You know what I mean? So thanks to all of the DJs out there. You're fucking appreciated. And without you DJs, none of us artists are shit. We need y'all. We love y'all.
Word. And the DJs that actually break records, not the DJs. You know, we salute all the DJs that's playing the songs because without them, the songs ain't being played. But I love the DJs that's breaking records and not just sitting back to see, okay, what's the streaming numbers, what's the Instagram numbers.
Right.
Like, you know, let's get back to the feeling of it. You know what I'm saying? Like how it feels. We in 2020 now. It's another 10 years. What's gonna be, John, in this next run, man? Who are you producing for? I know you didn't got a hell of a stack of beats, you know, during this pandemic lockdown. Who can we look forward to seeing you working with?
So the pandemic did one thing I wanted to do, but it was going to take me time to transition to it, and that was give me time to concentrate more on the production. So shout out to my man DJ Chronic. Me and him went in the studio. We co-produced a lot together earlier this year. I got a bunch of beats we did together. And also, like I said, one thing the pandemic did, it put me and my son together on production. My son just graduated from NYU.
Young Slade?
Yes, young Slade out there just graduated from NYU. You know, he graduated from the Clive Davis program. So he learned everything about music in the sense of engineering and production. He put out his first single too a couple months ago. But me and him have been producing together. The first record we did together is a brand new Yin Yang Twins song. DJs, if you need the Yin Yang Twins, hit up me, hit up Scam Artists, and I will get it to you. We haven't even put it out on all of the other platforms yet because doing like I said, I'm going to the DJs first. So I'm sending it to all of the DJs. DJs, I need your support. And it just came out of nowhere. Like I've been seeing the Yin Yang Twins over the couple of years, you know, over the last whatever, since we done what we've done. And they would always be like, yo, when we doing something, I was like, it's got to be the right time. And so I was inspired and I made a track and I was like, I need to get Yin Yang on this. So I made a couple beats and I sent him one. And then the vocals they did, I ended up taking and putting it on another track and making that track just them. And we have this new song called Twerking in the Mirror. Twerking in the Mirror. And it should be dropping on all the platforms in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so me and Young Slade been producing that. I gave Saweetie a couple joints. I think she recorded 2 of my songs. So brand new Saweetie, Lil Jon, DJ Young Slade on the beat. So, I mean, as a father, man, my son just graduating from college, and for us to now be producing together, and he's engineering for me, engineers all my stuff now. It's like comes full circle, you know what I mean? Because I remember when he hadn't even been born yet, and I was in a session, and he was kicking. Where every time we push play on the music, he would kick. You know what I mean? His mom's belly. And then when he was a baby, I had a little room in the back and I would produce in there. And he would crawl in there and hit on the drum pads. And to go from all of that to now we're producing together, man, is makes me so proud, man. And I feel so blessed, you know what I mean? So
that's incredible.
Yin Yang, new Saweetie.
I want to put my request in if we could get him 1 week to come on here and DJ on this show. I want to put my request in early before he blow up too big, man. And phone call return.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm not going no goddamn where. I'm here. Right. I'm in the house.
We got a couple more questions for Twitch before we wrap up. Right. Says, will we see Lil Jon and Scrappy team up together? And what do you think about him being a reality show star?
I'm proud of Scrappy because I know Scrappy. He was like teenager, man. Like I don't even remember what he might have been 17 when we first met, and to see him go through all these different phases and to become a man with a family, and he's just a man mentally now. You know what I mean? When I met him, he was still a boy, and now he's a man. I'm so proud of him. And it's crazy they asked that question because me and Scrappy been talking. And I talked to Scrappy this week and I was like, yeah, I'm back on these beats. And he was like, yo, give me something. So I'm putting something together for him. So we'll definitely do something else together. But that's crazy that they asked that question. We just talked.
I love it. Lil Jon, you and Cardi B was in a Pepsi commercial. What do you think about how big she's blowing up, and what do you think about the controversy where people said that her song WAP might have been too filthy?
Of course I'm proud of Cardi, man, to see where she's come from the reality TV space to now being one of the biggest artists in the world. I think that's awesome, and more power to her. Keep it going. And I love the fact that she's empowering women. We have to protect our women at all costs. Protect our Black and brown women at all costs. Uplift them. Show them you love them. You care about them. You support them. Applaud them. So that being said, WAP was #1 the first week it came out. It was #1 the second week. So all of the controversy is bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's #1. Who cares? And it's a woman. A woman can do whatever she wants with her body. It's her body. How can you tell a woman what she can and can't talk about? A woman is always that's a goddess. A goddess dictates to you how she wants to be perceived. You know what I mean? So let them women live. Let them be goddesses.
And you know, we didn't heard just as bad as worse from the guys, man. Like, go back and listen to NWA.
I know I can't talk. We got eat, motherfucker. And I actually, fact, I have the song with the most vulgar, the most, I don't know if it's swear word. I don't know how to categorize it. But Roll Call, Real Nigga Roll Call with Ice Cube is in the Guinness Book of the World Records for the most like profanities or whatever the fuck.
I love it.
Yeah, so I got the dirtiest song.
There we go. From the man himself. Couple more questions. John, where's your crunk chain and where's your pimp goblet at?
I got all the pimp goblets around here. I got rid of the crunk chain. I just needed to, sometimes you got to let old things go, Yeah. So I got rid of that. That's in the Guinness Book of the World Records, so we good. But we melted that down, changed it up. And yeah, the goblets are all at on my bar. So if you tune into my live sets every Saturday at 10 p.m., liljonlive.com, or right here on Twitch at Lil Jon, you'll see I bring the pimp cup out here and there and drink out of it.
Amazing. Last question, we're gonna go from Twitch. John, who are your top 5 MCs hip hop, top 5 producers hip hop?
Ooh, that's hard. So Nas has got to be in there.
New album is dope, by the way.
Yeah, I fuck with it. Salute Hit Boy for doing a great job on the production, and salute Nas for always killing it. So Nas, I'm an old school guy, so Kane, Nas, Ice Cube, Kane,
that's 3.
Everybody I'm a Pac fan too. Pac and Big. That's my 5.
Amazing. And then it said producers. Hip hop.
You got to throw Marley Marl in there, because without Marley Marl, it wouldn't be a lot of motherfuckers.
Amazing.
Marley Marl, Dr. Dre. Got to put Dr. Dre in there. Marley Marl. Fuck. That one's hard, man. I don't know. I'm gonna just stick with 2.
Okay. You can put Lil Jon in there too. You can put Lil Jon in there though.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a hip hop producer, but I say if you want to throw club producers that make club music, oh yeah, I'm in that motherfucker. Definitely.
There we go.
So yeah, I don't want to get into the producer argument. I do the MC argument but it's too many amazing producers. Like, I mean, I could throw Dilla in there. I could throw Organized Noise in there. I could throw DJ Paul and Juicy J in there, 3-6. I mean, there's so many ways I could go. You know what I mean? So we just gonna stick with those 2.
There we go. I love the debates. John, it's so good to see you. John was actually the first person who I ever heard say "fuck boy," and I was like, "Yo, what is that?" And he broke it down to me. So
some Atlanta shit, man.
Coined the phrase crunk. The first person to ever say that, man. So many firsts. We looking forward to the next 10 years of Lil Jon. With, whether the dreads is gray or you keeping the same color.
Oh, we gotta dye that, bro. We gotta dye.
Yeah. We gotta dye it. We got DJ Princess Cut. I know she wants to say what's up to you before we let you go. Can we bring on Princess Cut, because she about to kill us with a nice ATL set?
Hey, what's up, John?
What's good?
Salute.
I got you. You see, I'm representing always. Yeah.
For sure. I enjoyed that interview.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I haven't talked to my brother in so long, man. It's good to see you.
No doubt.
Before we leave, you got to tell us 3 of your favorite Lil Jon records before we let the man go.
All right. Well, definitely Lovers and Friends. You know what I'm saying? The whole vibe on that one is crazy.
Okay.
We got To the Window, To the Wall. That's just gonna turn up
Okay.
the club.
Get low. Get low.
Get
Can't
low
beat that. Can't beat that.
at any time.
Right. Right.
my third favorite
You got to throw a crunk one in there last, shawty.
I think that B.I. is
that B.I.
Oh
You took it
my
out of
God.
you took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
China White. Yeah.
Okay. You know. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm from Atlanta. So,
All right.
Yes,
All
yes.
good.
But not everything you said, like your records are go-to records at any time in the club.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you
no
for
doubt.
playing my shit, dog.
And I need that new record. I need that
All
new
right.
joint.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna DM it to you.
Okay, for sure.
We're gonna do it. John, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I'm looking forward to having the heir to the throne, Young Slade, come on in the near future, DJ Force. And John, we're gonna let you go, but keep it toned because
I'm in.
like I said, she got the all ATL set coming, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Rock that shit, shawty.
All right, for sure.
Hey.
My brother.
All right.
There we go. Princess Cut.
Hey, Mr. Reed. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And since I've been on Twitch, I've just have been loving to see all of the female DJs just coming on the platform and just wreaking havoc, just doing so many great things. A couple of weeks ago, we had Beverly Bond and Vashti on, and I'm looking forward to you. I had to call Tamiko up. I was like, we need her because I see you all over the world with Oprah and all of these great things.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, tell us how you got started DJing. How did you break into that?
Me, I got started DJing. Like I've always had a deep, love for music. It's funny because all my friends, they tell me that growing up, I was like, I want to be a DJ, but it's funny because I don't really remember that. I just remember like loving certain records. And as I got old enough to go to the club, I would go to the clubs like in Buckhead, and all the DJs would be rocking these sets, and they would play these sets that were full of reggae or music from up north, just the west side. And then when it came to southern music, they would play maybe like a 5 or 10 minute southern set and then just get out of it. And I always said, like, I want to DJ so I can play some southern music and do like a real set. So that was kind of like my thing when I first got started. So honestly, I tried it on a humbug and I loved it, and I was addicted to it ever since I touched the techniques.
Who was some of your just like some of your favorite DJs? Growing up, just watching them, going to their parties or what have you.
My favorite DJs were like Jazzy Jeff. I watched him. Magic Mike, DJ Jelly, DJ Monte, Herb, Hershey, Jazzy Joy, Spinderella, just to name a few. Qbert.
Wow. That's a lot of great ones. Was you more into and all of those DJs are versatile, but did you fall in love with like the tricks that some of them did, or just like how they would just put the records together and the playlisting that they was doing back then?
It was the records and the playlist, but I think for me it was more so the tricks, and just watching some of the battles. And I know one time I went to this Jay-Z concert in ATL, and Kid Capri opened for him. And I saw Capri like flip the record so fast. It was like unbelievable. And I was like, that's dope. Like I was really inspired.
When did it really start taking off for you? Like, we have so many great DJs in ATL. Um, it's a lot of guys, from Drama, my man Holiday, Greg Street, my man DJ Scream.
Yep, all my people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, great. We did that Rich Forever mixtape. Me and DJ Scream. There we go.
Scream, my hood rich brother.
Yes, yes, yes. I love Scream. And you representing hard for the ladies, and just carving your own niches, not just a dope female, but just a dope DJ overall. Like, how was you able to just really rise to the top in such a male dominated situation?
You know what? From the time I started DJing, like I was so focused. Like it was like that was all I saw. So when I first started DJing, I was at Earwax. I was at, record stores just like digging through records. Talib Shabazz and Jazz, I built a relationship with them who in return would introduce me to a lot of the DJs like that would come in the record store. King Arthur, or I would just meet them in the store. They're like, who was this girl like in here digging through these records, And then I began to like build my network. Different DJs would ask me what I want to open at it's certain older Atlanta clubs like Prime Time and whatnot. And I would open it at first, like really my first couple gigs, not expecting any money. And then at the end of the night, they shot me a couple $100. And I was like, okay, well, we got something here. But that's pretty much. Did I answer your question? What it was for me?
Absolutely. And shout out to my man DJ Infamous. Please let me not forget Inf, man.
Yo, so definitely Infamous. I was around him a lot when I first started. I used to be at the radio station with him, like just checking him out. They used to give me music, Silver Night. It's a few DJs that definitely looked out for me when I first started.
Yeah. So we had Lil Jon on. You got to tell us, what was it like for you to be in that era? Because now, you go to certain clubs, and a lot of people in the section, and people still
it's so different.
But it's different.
It's so different. It's so different that like now, the clubs are like section based. It's not really a dance floor in some of the clubs. It's crazy, but like the Lil Jon era and just the crunk era overall, it was nothing like it. Like just because people love to dance. So some of the hardest dudes that you wouldn't think would be out here dancing were dancing. They still are. Like so so that was fun in itself. Like, and then just some of the concerts that they would throw in Atlanta too. The energy is through the roof.
I loved it. Like to me, that was just my favorite ATL era, was when it was just the energy. Like I remember coming down, and it's funny because I just got some pictures for my family reunion. We had a family reunion in Atlanta. That was my first time being there. I was like 18, 19 years old, and going to the strip club for the first time and just experiencing it. And then I remember actually my first time as a journalist coming down to Atlanta, and I had to go to the dungeon to see Rico Wade and all of them, and meeting all of the outcasts. But I just remember going to the clubs and just experiencing an energy that I never experienced before. Like New York, we got our energy. Like we had the tunnel, and I guess the equivalent is when somebody threw on like a Wu-Tang or Mobb Deep or something like that, just to see. I call it werewolf music, where everybody just men and female. But to see Pastor Troy, I forget what club it was, but Pastor Troy was performing, and he jumped on a pool table. This is in Atlanta. He jumped on a pool table, was rapping, and he took a pool stick that said "bow" and broke it over the pool table and broke the pool stick. And I said, "Yo, I love Atlanta." From that moment on, it was sign me up.
The energy is like always crazy. I definitely love the energy, and it has shifted, But if you still go to certain clubs in ATL, then you still see a lot of people dancing. But a lot of clubs are section based. But it was nothing like that. That era, the Snap. You got D4L and Franchise Boys and just all that. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, rest in peace, Shorty Low, man.
Rest in peace, Shawty Low.
I miss Shorty Low. Shout out to Johnny Cabell and all of those guys who be taking care of me when I come to
it. And same thing, like what I love, like those records, Shawty Low's records still go.
Yeah.
Like right now, ATL, New York, Cali, wherever, they still go.
Yeah, no, I love that they have I don't know, it's like the younger generation is really caught on, and it's a real resurgence of 90s and 2000s, and I love it. I'm like, okay, I'm signed up. Like, what do you need to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we're gonna put on some Jeezy Trap or Die now. Come on,
yeah,
go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's dope.
And Jeezy was, I say Jeezy was the first artist that, besides like a Lil Jon, that we could play in the club and play like the whole album back to back, and the whole album goes. The next artist I would say who was similar to that was Future.
Is there anybody like that now who you think is holding it down like that now?
Where you can kind of like
besides Drake. Drake is something else. When I'm talking about Atlanta artists.
Besides Future, where you can kind of just go back to back to back to back, not really.
Okay, all right.
Not really.
There's room for growth.
It's definitely room for growth. I mean, I definitely respect, and we play a lot of records on the new artists like Ghana, Lil Baby. He's matching up.
Lil Baby is something.
Lil Baby is matching up. Lil Baby, you can definitely throw on those Lil Baby records, and they're gonna go back to back.
Now I know you about to get on these wheels and do it up, but before I go, I gotta ask you, how did the connection with Oprah come?
Yo, so working with Oprah was crazy. You know what? I have to blame it on the network and just keeping a good name and relationships and work ethic out there and my skill. But Tamiko, my manager, shouts out to her. We first I think got an email from someone at Harpo who mentioned the tour. Then we didn't hear anything for a little while, a couple months. Then we got a couple phone calls from a couple different people. I think one might have been Street Execs Tech, and then my home girl, rest in peace, DJ Speaker Fox. She hit me up too. I think they had both kind of threw my name in the pot. As far as them Oprah looking for a DJ, and we got that call to do the first show. Oprah's first show, the Life You Want tour, went down in Atlanta. It started in Atlanta, so we did the first show in Atlanta. 2 days of intensive work. They hadn't solidified the DJ for the whole tour yet, but Miko and I were like, we got this. Like, I'm the DJ that they need, so let's make it happen. And the next day came back and they were like, we want you guys for the rest of the tour. So
incredible. Atlanta is our Wakanda, like T.I. said. So shout out to all of the artists and all of the DJs, all of the executives. I really love seeing Black people being able to have a spot and just be very prosperous. Congratulations to Tyler Perry, who of course everybody knows opened the first Black studio
definitely
in Atlanta. It was the day that he's a billionaire. So let me hold some, Tyler.
Hey, and he opened it in East Point, so right around the corner from Greenbrier Mall. Not
right in the hood.
Kept it in the hood. Kept it in the hood. Yeah.
Tyler Perry. Congratulations to my homegirl Elon that works with Tyler. And now, since we're talking about getting crunk and partying and all of this, we are gonna let you do one of the things that you do best.
Thank you.
Still, I definitely appreciate you. I love seeing your growth, love seeing you prosper, and we're gonna have a good time.
Thank you.
Let's,
Thank
let,
you.
let's do a thing. Appreciate you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's go. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it, Dev. Where you at, brother? There we go. We had a good time, and we're gonna still have a good time. We keeping it going. Ari, come here real quick, man. I got to show y'all one of the people who keep me sane. Come here real quick, Ari, real quick. We live, man. We live, brother. This guy right here. This is my brother. He's my host for the time I'm down here. Parts unknown, man. I love this guy to death. That's my best friend, my brother, my right hand, and you know, without him, there would be no Shaheem, man. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Lil Jon, we had a good time. And now let's party. Like, let's get crunk, turn it up. I know you got your speakers on, turn them all the way up, and let's really do it. ATL, I love y'all, and this set is for y'all.